Alright boys, August the 2nd, 2:53. We're going to show this HF2 coil on this Deus II version 3.10 and the Manticore with the M8 coil. You know, there's people still buying that Manticore. It's on sale, I believe, okay? And you may get that Manticore and you may decide, doing some cursory tests, that you really like that machine's performance in all-terrain low conductors on go rings. In public places with modern trash, though, is that the program to necessarily be running all the time? Well, you got to watch this video and draw your own conclusion. That's a 10-carat go ring down there. One double layer, I believe that's double, maybe single layer piece of foil out of a cigarette pack. It's setting practically straight over the top of that go ring. All right. Now, you've got some higher frequency going on with this coil here, and I'm going to show it. Higher frequency than what's going on in that machine in all-terrain low conductors. Yet, the higher frequency coil running at higher frequency has advantage. How about that? Okay. Now that go ring reads about 50 to 53 between all three of these frequency bands on this machine. On the Manticore it reads about 17 in fast, general, all-terrain low conductors. The foil reads 1 on the Manticore in all-terrain low conductors. I checked it. I'll turn the camera back on at the end of this video and we'll look at that foil by itself on this Deus II. I'm going to run a disc of 40. How about that? 40. I'll take the disc out. We'll just look at speed 1 on this machine. 89 kilohertz band. Pitch 2. You hear that? I've got a 46 in the window. I'm going to get down close on that foil. Pretty close. I'm still getting signal. It's a little bit rattled. An inch over that foil. Boom. Now it reads about 53 solo. You see my ID there. That's 89 kilohertz band. Here's the 53 kilohertz band. You see that? So it's not reading but a point or two below our test value. Okay. Whoops. This is a sensitive program. 29 kilohertz band, speed 1. Again, that's pretty close to our test value on that go ring. 10-carat go ring, okay? I'm going to run the disc back to 6.8. Now, running this machine like I just showed might not be a bad strategy going into a site looking for go rings. You can still dig coins too. .29 kilohertz band. Just the factory knots in the machine, I'll take it out. .29 kilohertz band, no notch, 6.8 disc. You see the ID. 53 kilohertz band, no notch. You see the ID. 89 kilohertz band. You hear the signal. You see the ID. 45. Okay, 46. All right. We're going to turn the Deus II off. We'll turn the Manticore on. Now that ring and that foil haven't moved, okay? All-terrain low conductor, speed 4. I'm disc over to 9. Hear anything? Now that ring, remember, that ring reached 17. Solo. I'm disc over to 9. I have no signal. I mashed the horseshoe button. I've got a 3 in the meter. So in the wild running all-terrain low conductors, and I can even rotate on this. Horseshoe button is in. You see the meter, horseshoe button out, and I'm disc over to 9. I'll show you. See that? Right there. Actually, I'm disc over to 8. 8. You don't hear anything, do you? So you would miss that gold ring with a disc of 8. You would have to dig a 0, 1, 2, or 3, or 1, 2, or 3 signal to dig that gold ring in all-terrain low conductors. Speed 6. It ain't gonna help you. You see that? Yeah, this is running lower frequency than what I showed there with the 53 and the 89 kilohertz band. How about that? Now, the general program could even give better ops, slightly better on that situation there, because of that subtraction ground balance it uses. Okay. Now we're in all-terrain fast, no discrimination. Look what we've got in the meter. 15. That's pretty close to our test value. All-terrain general. Look what we've got in the meter. 15. However, fast and general, when there's some unmasking scenarios around iron, the all-terrain low conductors could have some advantage. How about that? So you would have to hunt a site both ways, maybe. All-terrain low conductors, and either all-terrain fast or general may be looking for gold rings to find them in the modern trash, mask, or around iron. You could even find it maybe even in all-terrain high conductors. See, all-terrain high conductors. You see that? Pretty close to an air test value on that gold ring. All right, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to remove the gold ring, and we'll sweep the foil with just the Deus II. Since I've got this machine turned on, I'll go ahead and remove it. The gold ring is out there. All-terrain low conductors horseshoe in. There's the foil. All-terrain fast. There's the foil. All-terrain general. There's the foil. Let me turn this camera off and fire this Deus II up. Alright, camera back on. Speed 1, sensitive program, that's what I showed. Here's a 29 kilohertz band, just the foil. The gold ring's over here now. Just a sliver of foil there. We can always cancel this machine. I heard a jet do something up here above my head. There it is. 24, 53 kilohertz band. 25, 89, 27. So we didn't see those values with that gold ring practically underneath that foil with this coil, did we? Alright. That's going to conclude the video. The mighty Deus II and the mighty Manticore, both wearing the smallest coils made for them as far as I know.